Well, we're back down at the river and went and picked tomatoes in a couple of days. That one's got a little wrinkle on it because it fell in my hand and dropped on the ground. And there's my hand. So these aren't too bad a size. Better boys are probably about that as your average, like this. These are a lot of undersized in there. They're the old 4th of Julys and they're just prolific. That's 2 days worth. And then I just need to get some cherries over here for the people to pick up. Most people display tomatoes when they're sitting down like that. They're just easier to put in a box and they won't roll around so much. But if you have one like this that needs to ripen a little more, it's pretty red on the bottom, but it could ripen another couple of days to be perfect. What you want to do is set them in the window like that, the way they grew. Just remember, the way they grew. It hung on a vine like that. That's the way it should ripen. Don't put it on its shoulders to let it ripen. But since we're giving these away, they can do what they want with them. Well, my bride came up and said, you didn't count the bag that she had, and that's these right here. So I think that's about 45, and we got about 15 plants, so we're getting about 3 tomatoes off of the average in each plant 3 times a week. So that's about 6 off 15. So that's about 98 tomatoes, better boys, in a week. Those I lost count because I mean that's well over 100 tomatoes, and that's every 2 days. Sometimes it's more than that. We haven't picked the cherries. Well, it's Saturday the 29th of August. It's 6:45 on the East Coast. These are the butter boys that are coming in. That's 1 day. We picked them yesterday. And my bride didn't want to come out here and pick them yesterday. And I said, you needed to pick these okra. And there's a bunch of them that might be a little oversized, but there's a bunch of pods in that. You can tell them in is in that Walmart bag. And we're down to the twos and fews, and there's a lady next door that likes to eat one a day. And I've been saving the ones that she just likes, little small ones, just a one person serving. So it works so good at the end of the season, and the dog sees something in a tree over there and he just won't quit barking. Our beans have been slow to set pods, but they're finally setting them. You can see them in here finally. Took them a long time. And the string beans, we've had a few little pickings off of them for meals, but they're a little sparse, but there's a lot of little ones in here that you can see if you raise up the leaves. And this is about a day since we picked these 4th of Julys to add to the rest of it. Cucumbers, it won't be long before they're putting out cukes. Looks like it got a little dried up here, and I've got a little bit of a leaf disease problem, which is very rare for us to have on cukes, and I see it over here too, and it shouldn't be powdery mildew starting. I can see that daggone wisteria or weed growing. And the melons are gotten thicker and heavier in the female flowers, and now they're getting ready to hopefully set something. And you can tell these cukes, this is at the level of the top of my head, so you can tell where the plants are. All of our fruit has been undersized. At the beginning, our better boys were undersized, but all our fruit at our home, we have a bunch of trees, were all undersized. The apples are undersized. The melons were undersized. And these figs are undersized. We should be eating these already. Graded this out as best you can for compost because it's not as fine as soil. And I want to do a little bit more on it, and you can see where we've got some watermelon or cucumber seeds coming up in it from the stuff we'd put on at the end. And that one is pretty much toast. It's not going to do anything, but it was debatable, and the others have grown quite well. They're above the poles. See, this one's way taller than the other one, so is this one. Well, now it's 2:25 on Sunday the 30th of August. I filled this box up twice, just from what I was picking today. And so they've taken that twice, and I've got that much, and then I've got this and this bag And these are some that were split, and they split picking them. I didn't see any in there, maybe 2 or 3 split when I was picking them, but just the pressure of picking them and laying on each other in a bag. That's why we don't try to put too many in a bag, because the weight of them would make them split. But we use the split ones that are just have a fine split in them. Well, it's Monday, August the 31st, and it's 6:45 on the East Coast. And our red boys have come in. This is a day and a half since we picked them last. And this is a bag of okra, and we picked that yesterday about the same time. And since we're going to be gone for a couple of days, we cut all the smaller ones, because these things will be huge when we get back. But there's some better boys, there's some better boys, there's some better boys, and there's some better boys. And we're going to probably take a few out. We generally, if they got a spot on them or whatever, people won't take them, or a little wormhole imperfection in the skin, nobody will take them, so we'll usually take those home and leave the pretty ones down here. And we're going to probably put almost all these on the table. They've been going, the better boys go instantly. I mean, I put out probably that much in those 2 bags yesterday, came back in about 25 or 30 minutes, and there was 7 tomatoes in the box. So I put another bag out and came back, and there was about 10 in the box. Put another bag out, and this morning there was none. And if we're going to put most of these on the table and go up the road. We don't generally do it because there's not many people down here during the week, just the ones that live here permanently.